I chose to practice law because I wanted a challenge. I was working in healthcare at the time and I was just looking for a little bit of something different where I could both work with people and grow intellectually and keep learning. So I decided to make the career shift. The services I provide for my clients are kind of in two different categories. So the first is wills and estates litigation services. So I help people who are having issues with powers of attorney or with a will. And then the other kind of set of services I provide are on the personal injury side. And so I help people who have been injured recoup money for their damages and losses. My favorite thing about practicing law now is helping people tell their stories. So I love it when clients come and they have a story to tell and they kind of let us in on the background of their family or of what's going on. And then I like taking that and helping them tell their story in the most compelling and effective way. When clients come to me, they're typically feeling a little bit lost and confused in this very big system we have. The reality of at least the wills and power of attorney side of my practice is that there's a lot of interaction with the court regardless of whether there is a problem with the will or not. And so often they're just looking for direction. And when they leave, I'm hoping they feel like they've found that direction. I try to provide them with practical and straightforward legal services and legal advice. And so I hope that they find that they are able to navigate the system and get the outcome that works for them at the end. One thing about working with me that I would like my potential clients to know is that I care both about the legal outcome and what's practically going to work for them. Often in the law, there's a couple different ways you can go about resolving a problem, and so it's important to me that my clients tell me when there are practical barriers that they're facing in the advice that we're giving so that we can help them work out something that will work in the long term for them. I was helping a client with a guardianship application. And so what that is it's when you go to the court and ask for the ability to make decisions for personal care and property for an individual who no longer is capable of making those decisions for themselves. And that client was practically doing that role for a while, but then a whole bunch of third-party service providers came in and said, we can't let you make these decisions anymore without the proper authority. And so when they came in, I remember thinking, okay, well, let's get this done so that you can get back to what you were doing so well before. And it just reminded me that here in the law, there's a lot of ways to help people to get an outcome. And there are a lot of people just trying to do good and do right by their family members. And that's a story that I would say reminds me of why I got into the law. One interesting or funny or quirky thing about myself would be I get a lot of flack in the office because I eat a lot of vegetables. And what I would like all of my colleagues to know about me is that I actually love vegetables. I have since I was a child, and my parents had to hide anything that was a fruit or a vegetable because I was not getting enough carbs or protein. And so I come by it honestly, and it's not just a health craze.